Alright, so let's look at how we can simplify radicals. So the method is really easy, and let's start with square root of 40. Now, if we plug in square root of 40 into a calculator over here, if I did square root of 40, it would give me a decimal. It would be like 6.3245, etc., etc. We don't want that, right? We want to simplify this in a way that there's no decimal, it's just simplified straight up. So I'll show you how to do this. So I call this the perfect square method, right? It's known as the perfect square method. And the way to do this is to actually break this number into break it into a perfect square number. So break radical into a perfect square, and any regular number, and any other number. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's say I have square root of 40 here, right? So square root of 40, what can I break 40 into? I can break it into 4 and 10. Now why did I choose 4 and 10? This is because 4 is a perfect square number, because if I have a square, I can do 2 and 2, right? Right, because if we take the square root of 4, we'll get 2, right? So this would be, well, what we would have to do in this case is, we can simplify this further. You would take the square root of 4 in this case, you would put it 2 outside because square root of 4 is 2, and then you would just keep your square root of 10 inside. And now if we look here, we can see that 2 square root of 10 is simplified, and it's as simple as that. Alright, so now let's look at a little bit more of a challenging question here. So we have square root of 360 and we have to simplify it. So the first thing I notice is that square root of 360 can basically be written as square root of 40 multiplied by 9. So here we have a perfect square number and a regular number. Our next step would be to break this down, right? So this basically can be written as 5 multiplied by 8, right? Because 40 can be broken down to 5 times 8. And our 9 can basically be broken down to 3 times 3. Now we can simplify this even further, right? So what I'm going to do, it's going to be square root of 5 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? I can break my 8 into 2 to the power 3, which is 2 times 2 times 2 multiplied by 3 times 3. Now, if I can create any number that you can take the square root of, like 4 or 9, I'm going to do so. So this is what I'm going to do. Let's say I can do square root, and I have 5 times 2 times 2 squared. You can take the square root of that. You can also take the square root of 3 squared as well. Okay? So now what would happen is I would basically just take the square root of whatever's in here, and it would go to the outside, right? So what is a square root of 4? It's 2, right? Because 2 squared is 4. Or another way to write this, like I can just do it in this step as well. I can turn this into 4 and 9. Right? If that's easier for you to understand, I can turn this into 4 and 9. So I would take the square root of 4 and I would take the square root of 9 and bring it to the outside, because I can take the square root of it. It can be brought out. So it would be 2 times 3 on the outside, and then in the inside it would just be 5 times 2. And now this would be equal to 2 times 3, which is 6, and the inside it's 5 times 2, which is square root of 10. And this is your simplified answer. And if you have a calculator on hand, you can check your answer, because this should be equal to square root of 360, right? So you can plug this into your calculator, and you can plug this into your calculator, and you're going to be able to see that they both equal the same number. So I want you guys to try this one on your own. I believe this one is a little bit more of an easier question to look at, so I want you guys to try this on your own. So pause the video and give it a try. So I hope you guys gave it a try. We're going to solve this now. So we know that 50 can be written as 2 multiplied by 25, where 25 is a perfect square number, which I represent with PS. So let's rewrite this. It's basically equal to square root of 25 multiplied by 2. Now here, we can actually take the square root of 25, right? So we don't have to look at this further. We can take the square root of 25. And if we take the square root of 25, we can take it outside. Remember, you can take the square root, we can just bring it outside. Square root of 25 is basically 5, so we take the 5 out. And whatever we're left with inside is just 2. So our answer should be 5 square root of 2, like so. Now you can use a calculator to check your work. If you plug in square root of 15 to your calculator, you should get 7.07. And if you plug in 5 square root of 2 in your calculator, you should get 7.07 as well. And so therefore, this is the simplified radical. Alright, so that's all for this video. Hope it helped. Have a great day.